So we're here with Tech 9. Do you go by Tech 9, Tech Izzo? What's your...
Tech 9 is fine.
Okay. All right. So, I know you wear many hats in the business. How long have you been in the business, and did you start as a promoter or did you start as a DJ selector?
Yeah, I started as a DJ selector. Officially was in 92.
Okay.
I bought my first 45 and, started playing on the turntables and all that at, I would say 92.
Okay. So what attracted you to, the dancehall sound clash scene?
So back in them days, it would be the block parties. There used to be a lot of block parties, and then the big sound would come through, and you would hear dub plates for the first time, and see the crowd going crazy, and it was intriguing from them time. I would say block parties did it for me.
Okay, so how did you come up with the name Tech 9 itself? And did you start the sound by yourself, or did you have a team?
Well, yeah, I started the sound by myself.
Okay.
And it's funny, the way Tech 9 came about is when I was in school, I got caught with one.
Oh, wow.
And the principal, instead of turning me in, he kind of made the name stick to me to kind of make me feel bad for getting caught with it. That time you was young, you don't know what you're doing. You're just following the hype and stuff like that. So that's how that came about. And the name just kind of stuck because for the whole year, he just kept calling me Tech 9, Tech 9, Tech 9, and it just kind of stuck.
So how did you end up, recruiting the rest of your team, and who were, the original members of the sound?
Well, the original members was me, of course. You had Tams Money, you had Scooby, you had Scrappy. This is that time, like I said, I was fresh. And I had a link in Virgin Islands through family. And, we went to Virgin Islands a couple of summers and, family vibe. And we just linked up with them guys over there, and they kept it going over there while I kept it going over here. And that's how that whole thing started. The original members in New York after them would be like Cheese, and I always had DT and Courtney, and we always had members. PB. There's always been 4 or more members on Tech 9 for some strange reason.
Okay, so when did the late Pretty Rick come about, and what drew you to him, or him to you, or however it went?
Well, I would say in about 96, I kind of put Tech 9 to the side because there was a bigger popular neighborhood sound that I joined called Eclipse. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I started this crew called Triple Threat Crew, which consisted of which consisted of Eclipse, Bulletproof, and Vigilante. And at that time, Pretty Rich played Vigilante. Okay. And when me and Eclipse didn't work out about 98, I kind of picked back up Tech 9. Mm. And Rick his sound Vigilante, they all went to school and they wasn't paying us no attention. So Rick was like, yo, I don't have no sound to represent. Let me represent your sound. And around that time is when one of my members, may he rest in peace, died. And it was like perfect timing, Mm-hmm. So that's when Rick joined the sound back in 98.
Okay. And after you got your team together, you created, one of the most highly anticipated dances in Brooklyn, the Flatbush versus Crown Heights dance. It was a year-to-year event that, everyone looked forward to. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, honestly, those were the 2 most partying neighborhoods at that time. Mm. It's always Flatbush parties in Flatbush, parties in Crown Heights, all over Crown Heights. So I came up with a concept. I was like, yo, since these 2 neighborhoods are always in parties, it would be nice to put them against each other. And then that's when I came out with the first year, which was Flatbush versus Crown Heights. And the response was ridiculous. With 2 weeks promotion, we got over 3,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah, we couldn't even let everybody in. After the first 1,700, the police would get involved. They would park their vans in front of the entrance door, and it was ridiculous. ridiculous. And every year after that, it's just the numbers have been over 3,000 people.
Wow.
You know, so I had to get a bigger place, which turned out to be The Rock,
Okay.
or Club Lodge at the time.
Okay. And you know that was the first of like several successful Tech Nine promotions. How do you like ensure there's consistency in your promotions, and how do you choose your lineups?
Well, you know, the funny thing with me is I've always been a controversial type promoter. Like, I always liked the competitive edge in parties. That's why you always had Guyana versus Trinidad, Jamaica versus Haiti, you know, Barbados versus Trinidad. All those stuff you see it now, I was doing back in 98, 99.
Okay.
You know, and then Flatbush versus Cloud Heights kind of evolved into Face Off, which turned into Brooklyn Face Off, which has been going on for the last 10 years now.
Okay.
I still keep Brooklyn Face Off to this day.
Okay. So how do you as a promoter pick the sounds that you're gonna include in your lineup?
Honestly, I pick sounds that try. Because, you know, like if I see you trying, and I see that your sound is trying to kind of make a name out there, I always had a soft place for them kind of things. Because I know when I was coming up, nobody wanted to help me, so I kind of had to build myself.
Okay.
So, which is always, I'm always free to help somebody else make it out there, you know what I mean? So I just pick people that I see are trying.
So, okay, so you said no one, like, really helped you out. So how did you put yourself on the map? How would you say?
Taking that chance and keeping my dances. I put myself on my own dances. Nobody wouldn't book us in the beginning, which is part of paying your dues, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I basically kept my own party. I said, okay, nobody want to book me? No problem. I booked my damn self. And then I booked myself, and when they called me for dates, I refused to give them dates.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I just kept it as me just promoting me. And it worked because I built me a large following at the time. And it worked out for me.
Okay. And that brings me to my next question. How do you prepare for a clash or date that you're participating and also promoting? Like, is there ever any issue or conflict of interest?
Well, for a long time, I never put my sound in clashes I was promoting because of the controversy that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tech Nine, it's his dance, that's why he won. So I try to stay away from that, you know. And how I prepare is basically, you know, flyers, posters, radio. That's for promotion. Now, sound is a different thing. Me preparing for sound, for getting ready for a class is what made me build my own studio. Which is like you said, one of the many hats that I wear. You know, I have my own studio, I do my own production, I'm my own engineer. Which everything I kind of taught myself.
Okay. And how long
has your studio been
around? How long has your studio been around?
It's been around since 2004.
Okay.
So 9 years so far.
Okay. And I know you have one of the biggest clashes coming up, one that many people are talking about, you know, the LP versus Jarrow. What inspired you to put this on?
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. What happened was, it was originally supposed to be LP versus Bass Odyssey.
Okay.
But what happened is, somebody beat me to Bass Odyssey and gave them a deposit before I can.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of made me have to detour. Which worked out in my favor. It worked out actually to be the best thing that could have happened to me because the Jarrow and LP dance is kind of like the two biggest sounds going at each other.
Okay.
You know, the number one sound in Jamaica versus the number one sound in America. You know, and with Jarrow killing Bass Odyssey over the weekend, it threw a bigger hype on the dance.
Definitely. And it's been, but it's been kind of rumored. I don't know how true this is that, you know, there's some kind of quote unquote feud between Tech Nine and Bass Odyssey because you felt they were charging too much for their clashes, and it's.
Well, I wouldn't call it a rivalry. Me and them don't have no problem. You know what I mean? And I think it stems long before that. I think it had something to do with Squingy, because I was keeping a little fundraiser for Squingy, and the money I made from the fundraiser, I was going to donate it to Squingy's hospital bills. But what happened is, Squingy died before the fundraiser. So what I did was I took the money I made from it and donated it towards Squingy's burial.
Okay.
And I don't know where or how or what was told to who. Somehow my name came up in that mix-up. I don't know what was said. Nobody ever called me and explained, but I just kept hearing my name. Now, how me and Bass Odyssey, their price was, somebody called Bass Odyssey for a class, somebody I worked with, and they told that person 12 grand, right?
Okay.
So, when that came up, I went on the internet and said, yo, people, Bass Odyssey is charging 12 grand for classes now. What do y'all think? Now, when I did that, I didn't do it on no trying to start a problem with them. I just was like, do they think it was fair? And then one of Bass Odyssey's representatives came on the internet and said, oh, that's not true. That's not true. You take my bad mind in Bass Odyssey. But later on, the same thing came out as being true. So how am I bad minding Bass Odyssey with the truth? I'm a big Bass Odyssey fan, you know.
Okay.
I tried to book them a couple of times, but I feel that they felt that I was fighting them. They didn't want to give me no dates. You know what I mean? But I'm still, me and Damien from Bass Odyssey talk. We're good friends. Me and Keithy, who is Keith's son, we talk. You know what I mean? So the members I don't have a problem with. It's just the management that has a problem with me. But, you know, life goes on. This world full of sound.
So are there any other rivalries that Tech9 has, or is this just all, fun and for the love of music for you?
Everybody has a rivalry with Tech9. Everybody. You know what I mean? You name it. Me and Poison Up, we have our rivalry. Me and Blood Posse have our rivalry. You know what I mean? Me and Innocent have our rivalry. Me and Justice have our rivalry. Me and so many sounds have our... There's some sounds right now I've never even heard of that hate Tech9.
But how did
you know what I mean?
How did the rivalry between Tech9 and Innocent come about?
I think it's because over the internet, over the Facebook thing. But I think, honestly, me and Innocent rivalry came from Dapper trying to call me for a dubplate session, and I never answered my phone. You know, and he saw me in the club, and he didn't speak to me. Maybe he thought I was going to speak to him, and I didn't speak to him, and I just kept it moving, and from there, just turned onto the internet, and then it just went on from there.
So,
you know?
Will there ever be a clash between Innocent and Tech9?
If it happens, I'm for it. If it doesn't happen, it ain't going to stop my flow. My day goes on regardless.
Okay.
The biggest thing about this business is there's no sound in this business you can't go around. Even me.
Okay. And I previously did an interview with Justice, and, I asked him the same question regarding, a clash between you two, and whether there was, any rivalry going on. And he stated that because New York is the clash capital, he isn't coming to New York for less than $3 grand, but that he is willing to clash you. How do you feel about that?
Well, here's the thing. My whole thing is, I don't feel to pay people more than I think they're worth. You can't ask for $3 grand in a place you've never been. You haven't proven yourself yet to the people in New York. If I come to Jacksonville for the first time and I say I want $4 grand, and the promoter says, look, I can't afford that, so give me a better price because the people don't know you yet, the most common sense thing to do would be to just work with the promoter and see where it goes from there. Build your name in that area. Now, if Justice, not saying he will, but if Justice comes to New York and doesn't do good, how are you going to get treated after that? You understand? You have to build your name in the business. Nobody in New York never really saw Justice perform as a clash and sound yet. You know, June 1st will be his first time here. I'm hoping he does good because that's a rivalry right there for me also.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If he does great, good, then he'll be worth the 3-9. But before you prove your worth, you can't charge them big money. That's a lot of money.
So would that clash be able to happen in Florida, or?
That clash can happen anywhere.
Okay.
That clash can happen anywhere. From the money that we did.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. And in the past year or so, there have been several additions to Tech 9, Jixie Killer, Mountain Dew, and Montana Stokes. How did this come about, and what attracted you to these guys?
Well, Jixie Killer was a legend for a long time, and at the time he wasn't on any sound, and it was around the time when Rich just died. And I had some classes coming up, and I needed an MC. So I approached Jixie and asked him to join the sound. When he joined the sound, everything was good. We built up, we clashed, we practiced, we got everything ready, and it just didn't work out at the time the way we planned. So he's still on the sound, he's still building, you know what I mean? I don't give up on my people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No matter what the society says, at the end of the day, I do for me, you know what I'm saying? And I make my decisions for myself.
And what about Mountain Dew and Montana Stokes? How did they come to be on Tech 9?
Well, Mountain Dew, he basically took the sound. He was like, yo, this is my sound now. I'm going to represent Tech 9 from today.
Okay.
And I told him, go ahead. Little Chef Dew he kind of muscled me for my own sound. But he's a good youth and he's trying. And that's what I read about him. He's dedicated and he's loyal. You'll never find those two in any better sound man like Mountain Dew. And I saw that from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Which is why he's one of the generals of the sound right now.
Okay. And
Montana, at the time he was having his issues with Super Bowl. And to be honest with you, Montana was supposed to join the sound years before. And, true, he had some issues, he couldn't join the sound, and, we both felt that it was the right time for Montana to join the sound. And, everything with me is a family meeting. Any decision that's made, I meet with all the members and we make the decision. Not because I'm the boss or I own the sound, I don't include them in anything, you know what I mean? And from I asked them, nobody had a problem with Montana or Ace, and next thing you know, they're part of the family.
Okay. And I know that Tech 9 hasn't really been active in the clash market for a little while, and the fans have been wanting to see, Tech 9 in the arena. And I know you have 2 upcoming clashes, one with Poison Dart and the other with Rootsman and Natural Affair. How do you feel about your chances in these dances?
I've always had good chances because my dubs, to me, I think I got some really, really great dubs. It's just circumstances have caused me not to be able to present them the right way. Whether it's my MC, they didn't know the tunes yet, or a computer problem or something, has always been able to hold me back from showcasing the dubs. But going into these 2 clashes coming up, I'm so confident because I have the talent and I have the dubs to back that talent.
Okay.
So I'm confident going into these 2 dances. I'm killing this year, which is why I've decided to keep, and both those classes are mine, by the way.
Okay.
The one in Orlando and the one in Brooklyn. I did that to show people that you have to wait for promoters to book you. Book yourself.
Okay.
I'm hoping it starts a trend.
Okay. And do you care to share who's going to be emceeing for these 2 dances?
I have 5 classes coming up. I'm only introduced 2. I have a class to highlight every one of my sound members. So everybody will get their chance to shine on this sound properly. Okay. Not because people want it, because I want it the way to be done the right way. You understand? So everybody will have proper shine. I don't want to expose who's going to be playing what dance due to the fact that I don't want to give away too much for the competitors.
Okay.
But everybody will shine at these classes.
Okay. And this brings me to my next question. How do you feel about the clash scene now? Do you feel like it's headed in the right direction?
I think it was headed in the right direction, but with the oversaturation that's going on right now, 10 classes in 2 months, that's ridiculous. You know, they're watering it down a little bit. It just needs to kind of ease up a little bit, let the class try and move forward to the next step.
Okay.
But when you have 3-4 classes a month, it kind of drowns out the excitement and the anticipation.
Definitely.
Which is why I decided to keep more dances outside of New York and maybe 1 or 2 in New York to preserve the New York classroom. It doesn't make sense to keep 10 classes in New York within a 5-month span. It does not make sense. You notice I got Orlando, I got Jamaica, I got Canada, Antigua soon be announced. And then you're going to hear about Trinidad being announced. You know what I mean? Then end of the year, you're going to hear another Jamaica class. Everything we do is planned. It's not, we don't do things to spite nobody. We do things to go around and benefit us and the fans that follow us.
Well, before we go, I know we spoke about Rick a little bit earlier, and again, I want to send my condolences to his family and the Tech 9 family. His passing was untimely and a great loss to not only you guys, but as well as the Sound Clash community as a whole. How did you guys, recover from this loss, and how are you guys today?
Well, one of the ways we recover is his sister is a very intricate part in my sound, as far as like she comes to all the classes and she supports the sound heavily, along with Rick's wife and his other family members, and that means a lot to me, you know what I mean? And before every class, I make it my business that day to go visit Rick's grave. You know what I mean? No matter what time of the year or what. If I'm classing tomorrow morning, I get dressed, I go to the cemetery, buy the flowers, I'll go to his grave, I spend an hour and I just talk. You know? If I win, I guarantee you'll see it by Rick's grave. It won't be in the house.
And is there anything else you'd like to say? Like, where can we see Tech 9, whether it's promoting or clashing or juggling? What's up next for you guys?
Well, every Friday we're at Destiny's Lounge over there on 98th and Legion. That's our every Friday spot where we build our crowd, and we play there with Jaro and LP and all the big sound coming show up over there. You know what I mean? And then we have real big sound. I just came off of a 1-month Japan tour.
Okay.
It was great. One of the greatest experiences I've ever had.
Okay.
1 month in Japan promoting, and the way it was is that it wasn't like just come and play music and leave. It was like 100% dub plate dances, and you're getting thunder forwards for your dubs, and to see people respond to your creativity like that is an amazing feeling.
And is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
I just hope that the people that have been supporting me continue to support me, and I just want to let them know that I never take anything for granted, and everything that I have and will have will always be appreciated by me and the people around me.
Okay, well, there you have it. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to what's up next with Tech 9.
Definitely. I hope to see you there.
All right.
All right, that's all.